listener surprise last night. What up? It's your boy. Hash info. I take these to the basement. I didn't see them until I saw them. Now I see them. I gotta get them to the basement. All right, next up. How you doing? How you doing? First 10 people in the show, we get a shout out though. After that, you came too late. You gotta show up faster and sooner. Harder. Come at me, bro. Where's my awesome tongue? Look onto it. Russia creates new law banning false information, in brackets, fake news. Okay? This is huge. This is monstrous. Hashtag hash info, hashtag perception, hashtag tainted views. I'll say it again, hashtag tainted views, hashtag old men lie daily, hashtag dirty buggers. Presidents in diapers all over the world fear the new law. Presidents in diapers all over the world fear this new law. I don't know why it said it twice. This is, when I use my text, my dragon speech, it types it twice. I only said it once. Hey Biden, Huggies are for babies, bud. So, you can see here that we've got bunches of toast popped. I'm going to take it over and read and talk to you a little bit while, oh, I never popped a plate. Oh, damn, I don't even have, yeah. We got plates, boy. I got plates in those places where the plates are known, and the plates chase all the spoons away. President of Italy is 80. Step down, Grandpa. The majority of presidents in the world are men. All Catholic priests in the world are men. They all wear diapers. They've all committed, I can't say they all, but the many have committed atrocities. They've committed atrocities and sins, some of them, they will never be held accountable for. I would find it hard to believe that they all haven't committed a sin, though. If you think long and hard enough, I think you can think of something you wish you didn't do, right? So don't say, this isn't a true write-up, because it actually is, but I made it, the words didn't come out how I typed it with my mouth. Now I have to go and fix the AI computer dragon speech technology. Not a big, none of this matters. I'm gonna read it because the problem is I can't read something that's not fluent. Not to mention, my eyes are, I have great vision, but my screen is too bright, I think. Yeah, I think it's my screen. Okay, it says, in the new age, we will ensure that justice is served to those who commit offenses against children, women, grown men telling the truth. The time for changes now. Recognize that the lies being told worldwide on the news stations, funded by governments of old diaper-wearing scum, it's time for a change. So, you're always welcome to type in the chat and have your say. It's not gonna be, I'm a comedian, right? Do you remember the guy, I don't know his name, Carl. Yeah, he's a very famous comedian. He was on PBS. I used to watch him. Like my mom, we would all watch him. He has always told George Carlin. His name is George Carlin. He has always told the truth. He has always cared. He has always recognized. See, he was famous. And he recognized how evil the world's leaders were. And he spoke out against them. But first thing he did was I don't know if he won over the people first or he won over the people with his true words. And it was hard he had such a following that you couldn't taint George Carlin because his outspoken views spoke for him. The same goes for me. I'm very outspoken. So you can't come at me with your false BS. And you want to know something else? The news stations would be very scared too. Because it's all lies and I would sue them for every penny they've ever had. Here in Canada, things work a little differently than America and some other places where there are some shadier news stations. I'm not going to name them. CNN, Fox, and they go against the grain. They never tell the truth. It's proven. We've seen Anderson Cooper was in a windstorm with a dude 5 feet, 10 feet behind him with a ball cap on. But that's because the fan only has a radius of 12 feet that they had just behind the camera. Remember these things. Remember that the same video cameras that show you the evening news, they made you your favorite movie on Disney. Remember this. And if you think this is false, I can prove to you that it isn't. Hundreds upon hundreds of news stations throughout time. Do you want to know something about game shows? You want to know something about game shows? Every single game show that's ever existed is rigged. Do you remember, well, sorry, you wouldn't. Unless you're in one of these diaper-wearing old dudes, do you remember a game show called 21? Well, this game show we're going to get into today, and we're going to talk about how dirty these game show hosts, they knew the show was corrupt. Worldwide, they said that a man was the smartest person alive. It's all fake. Just wait. This has all been proven in front of a grand jury in the United States of America. A TV show, game show called 21. Look it up for yourselves. Don't take my word for it. Go do some research on your own. Yeah. The people they put in front of you, it's perception, and it's a tainted view. They're telling you, you're watching someone answer questions you don't know the answer to. You're like, how does someone know that it's 800,732,000 centimeters long? No one knows that. No one. All the answers to the questions turned out to be in a book backstage. But these questions no one knew the answer to. Think about what I just said. These questions were asked to contestants. Why would there be a book full of answers backstage where the contestants were? And this is just one of many people had come forward saying the producers of the game show were chatting for very long periods of time on the phone nights before they would go on. Now things are very different. Technology and communication. I don't know if you know what BlackBerry is. Encryption devices. They say Apple iPhones are encrypted and now they're super easy to hack. BlackBerry has encryption that no one can hack. That's a lie. The people that made BlackBerry, RIM, is owned by the Secret Service. It's a umbrella group. You guys gotta wake up, man. So, and this is not. Anyone who has ever owned a BlackBerry knows that. Period. But many of you aren't as smart as you think you will ever be. And your limit to your knowledge is your downfall. You limit your knowledge because daily you turn on a black mirror. And you watch the tainted views passed on to you, so your perception is tainted, altered forever. You can't change that. Once you turn on a black mirror, your perception is tainted and altered forever. The only way around that is to come find someone who is spitting sunlight. And you never turn on that black mirror, and you hang with spitters of sunlight. The world changed overnight, one day, and the next year it was never the same again. Never. And it happened sometime, I think the 80s. I'm not exactly sure what happened. But the 80s had a lot to do with many things that will probably never be understood, because I believe they're snuffing people everywhere. I believe that, it's not maybe less now, but I believe they're all snuffed. I believe that many of those who knew and understood what went on back in the day in the 80s are gone forever. The evils that existed went on a spree, but it was much harder, like forensics and crime files, things like that. Plus, not to mention video cameras. There was never a trace of anything. You were always dust. But now you can get a security camera. Your neighbor could have one. Your neighbor's buddy's flying a drone. You know, maybe they saw something. There was a car parked in front that didn't seem right. You know, there's things that can catch some people a little bit in the act now. Not as easy as it used, or not as easy as you think it is, but it's easier now than ever before to catch people. And you can still use old tricks. I've been taught by masters of gaming, right? I'll just leave it there. But I have been taught. And my skill set is different than what you think your skill set should be. You never learned an actual skill set that kept you survival skill set 110% safe. Your skill set keeps you about 40% safe on your best day. On your best day, you're 40% safe. You don't even understand half of the things that could go wrong in the world. Not in the world, in your world. That happens every day. You don't limit your interaction with danger to stay 110% safe. It doesn't mean you don't go out. It means you go out and you walk like a boss. It means you don't let people just come on up. You look at them funny. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then if they're charging you, then you've got to take extra different actions, right? And this is... Look, you can say you're trained. You can say you're ready for anything. But then when it happens, are you? Would you even have a clue what to do? Training is nothing. Experience is key. And many people who have ever been studied have never lived a day in the shoes of someone who's experienced it for the time you've studied it. So you will never be on their level, because you spent 20 years learning about something while someone's on the other side of the world actually doing it. And they never took a book. They didn't open a book. The only way they're still alive is because this is how they had to stay alive, was to survive. Many people in the world are not recognizing that if you took your cushy life, just because this is North America, it doesn't mean that this side of the continent can't be flipped upside down, and we won't have running water, and Africa and Europe will be way ahead of us. Or where, like, name 7 places that we are apparently ahead of with resources and living styles. We can get flipped on a dime. Are you ready? Quickly say no, punks. Quickly say no. Because all you do is worry about your daily. You've never cared. What if? You spent 20 years going, what if? I spent 40. I had to. I grew up surviving. I grew up way different than any of you. There's a difference. I didn't have brothers. I didn't have a dad to go running to. I had a mom that, if anything went wrong in my life, I had to keep quiet. There's no way that you've all run to your family. I have just me. Like, I have a family. I choose not to use them. If I ever needed them for something big, then I choose a certain person that I know I can trust to keep it quiet while I, figure out what's going on. I don't want a bunch of people in my family coming here and hanging out, doing stuff. Like, I love my family. I don't want them involved in my life. Maybe I don't want to get them involved. I don't know how to say it, but that's truth. And I'm never changing. You know, I was born like this. I've lived like this. This is how I will stay. You know, if someone asks me for help, don't worry. I will ask you for help too. But if I don't get asked for help by them, some of my family has never asked me for help. I've never asked them for help, and that's the way it is. I choose not to ask anyone for help, and if I do, I make sure that I clear it up right away so I don't have to get these surprises. I'm not saying that you can't ask me even though I asked you. It's just I like to even it up right away. I don't like to just, I don't use people. I've never have and I never will. I rely on myself. I'm self-reliant, and that's the way I like it. Yes, there's been a couple times in my life where I needed a hand from my mom, but that's it. One person. And the hand didn't come without a lot of piss and moaning and bitching and me trying to explain. I know what's going on, Ma. I know you don't get it, but I know what's going on. And that comes with hardships too. So I don't do that really. I don't like doing it. Put it that way. We're going to grab stuff from the air fryer and we're going to hammer down. We've got these nice vegan sausages here. We've got toast. I'm actually going to put the vegan sausage on top of the toast, I guess. I don't see why the hell I wouldn't. I'm going to put a vegan egg on top of that. I'm going for my vegan egg there. Why do I feel like, oh yeah, we each get 3. She has a little bit less toast. She doesn't want as much as me. I'm having 2 sausages, 2 eggs. This is right. Okay, so she's all done. Now I'm going to put the ketchup on the side. She does not like ketchup anywhere near anything. It has to be always on the side. Just a little dime. I'm going to put a little hair on there. I might have a hair of hash brown. Very little ketchup. I'm not a ketchup fan. And then you go over to the hash browns. And see, I'm not really keen on hash browns too much. I'll have a little bit. They are nice though. The hash browns are good. These ones, look, I'm just not digging it. I don't know why. I like my toast and my sausage and my vegan egg, but my plant-based sausage, by the way. I got a green tea over here. Exciting news in the world. All the news stations in the world, if they report on Russia in a false manner, Russia will jail those people. So we'll see if the news doesn't. I saw something already this morning. You should see how the United States of America was at this council meeting or whatever they're in right now. I am not getting into any of that. I trust me when I say I'm not getting into that. No, I'm not scared. I'm not buying it. I'm not talking about it. But this lady that represents the United States of America was calling the president of Russia, Mr. Putin, being very honorable this morning on a live council, big blah, blah. Look, I don't want war in any country. If people are attacking other people, I'd like to understand why, right? But it seems that the media in Ukraine has been featuring a lot of false information. And now I'm going to be specific. They showcased a video game I don't know what media station did it or what, but there is propaganda of video games being featured as it's real. So this is not proper. We need to understand who is doing this and why. Pull them out and place them in front of a webcam, and we need to ask them the questions, because it would seem someone is trying to taint our perception of what is happening right now. And that needs to be highly illegal in any country around the world. Back in the day, a news media organization had to verify with 3 separate unrelated, there's a term, they have to verify the story 3 times, 3 sources, 3 sources. Some say 2. I wouldn't watch the one that only uses 2. 3 sources to verify a story. Now, nothing. And these media news stations need to be held extremely accountable for this. Extremely accountable. Jail for lies. Perception. They're telling you lies that are paid for by the government. Who put them up to this? If it was the government, who in the government? They need jail. The citizens of a country must not be lied to by their publicly tax-paying media stations that are put out by, regardless if it's a private media station or a publicly owned. The private media station must be held accountable at the highest. It's detrimental to society. If they put out a false story saying someone said this or did this and they didn't, they're ruining that person's life. The person who said the story, who told the story, needs to go to jail forever because the person's life was about to be ruined. With stories, with laws like this, you will see these news agencies not having a person step up and there won't be any puppets in front of your 6 o'clock news reading the lies anymore because they won't take the job. The world has changed. Have you? Should you? And will you change?